Hello and welcome, heroes, to the Crit Academy. I am your host, Justin.
And I am your guest, Matthew Gravelyn.
I'm your co-host, Brandon.
And I'm your other co-host, Ian.
This podcast was created to provide you, our heroes, with new and reusable material for both players and DMs.
We hope to inspire you with creative content that you can bring with you on your next adventure.
Want to do it?
I'll do it.
Somebody fucking do it!
Well, he always has it, so.
Our show may not be suitable for young children, but neither is our D&D games.
The irony is every Wednesday it is for children because I run it for like 10-year-olds. All right, so this is where I'll put in the currently last paid ad by Jeff Stevens. Woohoo!
Paid ad.
Thanks for joining us today here at Crit Academy Studios, where everything's made up and your rolls don't matter.
That's right. Your rolls are like a paladin who breaks his tenets.
Why did I not pay rent?
Oh, God. And this is why we only have 2 listeners. We got a really great show for you guys today, but just like always, we like to start the show off on a high note. And on our show, every week we give away 3 amazing adventures, compliments of our sponsors. Your first one is from Goblinstone. Okay, that's where we'll insert that.
Yep.
So, Matthew, who's our winner today?
Is our winner? Oh man, there's numbers in it. I'm going to say Percy Low 83.
Good enough.
I don't know why I still forgot to add the short, like 15-second one in there, but I swear I'll remember one of these times.
Never.
Like when I'm editing, I just pop that one in, but it's not on this in this folder for the soundboard folder. Congratulations to Percy Low 83. If you enjoyed the adventure, please let Goblinstone know. Leave him a review. Let him know what you like, what you didn't like, and help him improve his product moving forward.
Pleasure to torture you, Tater.
Make sure, as we're keeping up with the chat, that's your guys' responsibility. So try to keep an eye out for that. And if you're going to respond, try to give a delivery of why that is. Because there's a lot of times where we respond and I'm like, what the hell happened in the chat?
Tater says.
Yes. The great bearded one. All right. So, we got a really great show for you guys today. We have a question from Mike G in regards to long-lived characters. I'm actually getting a little bit of feedback coming back through from, I think you're wearing a headset, right? Yeah, I don't know. Why is that coming back?
I heard something, Matt.
Yeah, maybe my outbound's too loud. I'll turn it down a little
I
bit.
think it's gone now.
That was me. I went in so I can type to the...
Oh, that was you?
People. Yeah.
Okay. God damn it, you threw. I was like, where the hell is that coming from? Well, the only thing different is him.
I host a podcast. I know what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah? Which one?
I just started a podcast about a month and a half ago. It's called The Hard Move. It is a one-on-one discussion podcast about Powered by the Apocalypse games.
Oh, nice.
A guest and I pick a single move from a single game and deep dive on how it works mechanically, narratively, and how the GM can best respond.
Oh, that is dope. We'll have to make sure you can plug. Well, we're going to give you an opportunity to plug everything later, too. So if you want to drop that, too, as well as your Dmsguild content. Sorry, I'm derailing. So that's why I edit the show.
That does not take much to derail you.
Attention span of a gnat. So we got a really great show for you guys today. We have a question from Mike G in regards to long-lived characters, which is something we've discovered many times on the show. Our main topic today is we have special guest Matthew Gravelyn talking about creating Paladin Oaths, which is super exciting. And of course, we have our final segment where we bring you our Unearthed Tips and Tricks segment where we bring you new and reusable material for both players and DMs. But before all that, we have In the Realm. We have In the Realm where we spend a few minutes talking about what's going on in our lives. Now, I changed it up, you guys. It's different. We're going to solely focus on Matt today.
The one weekend I have crap going on. No.
Matt, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I've been playing tabletop role-playing games since I was, teenager. Started with 3.5 D&D and Mech Warrior, and then I fell out of it. I got really into video games and, went to college, moved a lot. I was playing video games. I didn't have a consistent group. And it wasn't until about, I'd say maybe about 5 years ago, I got back into tabletop games and tabletop role-playing games. And that's when I discovered you could create content for this. You could write content, and people might look at that and possibly even give you dollars for it if it's good enough. And I've been putting content out there on Dmsguild for about 2 years now, I think, roughly. My current series that I'm working on is these subclass creation guides, and the first one that came out was the Paladins.
Neat.
That's really dope.
So, what was your most memorable D&D moment?
So I had a home game that I played not too long ago, and one of my players came to me after the first session, and he said, I want to do something really different. I want to do something really out of the box. And I said, all right, what did you have in mind? He's like, I want to play a bear. Okay. And it was not a magic bear, not a were-bear, not a polymorphed bear, a literal, actual, regular bear.
I just had that Avatar moment.
Yeah, so I hacked together a class for him that was basically just the barbarian and the fighter mashed together with a little ranger thrown in. But after the fact, I went back and actually created a real bear class that I eventually put up on Dmsguild, and it turned into 2 races, 2 sub-races, 2 classes, and 3 backgrounds. It's a 14-page document, all
dope.
about playing bears in D&D. So
Nice.
That is really cool.
I think you got what I was referencing.
No. Did you?
From Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yep. The invitation just says bear. What kind of bear? It just says bear. I mean, are we talking like Baba's bear? No.
I do remember that.
Koala bear? No. It just says bear.
just a bear.
So that's pretty cool. So I could it talk? I mean,
No, that was the thing.
Okay.
It was literal, regular bear. Anybody who could talk to beasts could talk to the bear.
Oh, that's
But-
cool.
But it worked exactly the way that particular ability says. It's limited. It's simple ideas. You're not having a conversation. So by and large, this player couldn't really communicate at all, and could only communicate in any way to the ranger or druid.
That's dope.
That was a meme a few years back. Someone had said, "Hey, is it possible to play a bear?" And then someone actually started making a play format of how that would go down. Like, so yeah, you got a bear, but he ends up being some magic class where he is the governor of this town, and everyone thinks that he's a person.
What the fuck?
And he
He had
grumbles
a really
like a
high
bear.
charisma score and deception abilities. Yep.
Wag his little bear tail. So you talked about all this experience you have as a player and as a DM. Is there any moment where you failed as a DM or a player, and is there anything? What did you learn from that moment?
Yeah, and this is actually what led me to doing a lot of the writing that I do now, which is more conceptual and more, suggestion based instead of linear. Is I used to be a very on the rails DM. I wrote a thing, and we were going to read every word of it, and we were going to do it exactly the way I wrote it. And if we didn't do that, then I would force the players to do it. And in my opinion, that is just empirically wrong. No one's going to have fun with that game. So I learned to loosen up, get into improv a little bit more, be more comfortable not knowing things. And there's more players at the table than there are DMs. So by and large, statistically speaking, the players will have more good ideas than I will, and to entertain those. So I stopped writing as much. I used to write 14 pages of concrete content with dialogue and characters and locations. And if they took a left instead of a right, 7 pages would just be useless.
I think that was summed up perfectly in the webcomic DM of the Ring. No. Darth and Droids, where they basically retell the Star Wars movies as a D&D game. And like in the beginning of the Clone Wars, when they're fighting that shapeshifter bounty hunter, they changed it to like, okay, you're about to as the NPC for help, but then you see a laser dot as a sniper fires at you. Okay, I grab the NPC, use him as a meat shield.
I gotta point out that Sam.
And then Hey DM, why you look so mad? Oh, I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact he's now tossing in 5 pages of detailed character backstory.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I learned to do is, as the DM, that NPC was important. Nobody else knows that NPC was important yet. So turns out he was the bodyguard. The guy you need to talk to is standing next to him, or it's the bartender in disguise, or it's, that's the kind of thing that I had to learn to do, was not get so fixated on the fact that my carefully crafted story got derailed. Was just, how do I hit these plot points knowing up front that the players are going to mess up my story.
Right.
Period.
And
that will happen.
You really have to get ready for the unexpected, though, because you never quite know when a character is going to build a outhouse out of granite.
Did you have something?
Yeah, Sam says that he had to leave. He's back now because he had to put out a car fire.
Oh,
what the fuck?
Okay.
I'm gonna miss your guys' show for a few minutes. Somebody's fucking car's on fire. I'll be right back.
That's a good excuse, I think.
It says a fuel line came off while they were working on it, and it caught.
That'd do it.
No injuries or anything, but
So Matthew, you ran into this carefully. You had this carefully chiseled out plot, and it was getting ruined. Mm-hmm. So, what techniques did you end up developing, or how did you overcome, that challenge? Because I imagine that could be kind of infuriating.
100%. Yeah, I mean, imagine being an author of a book, and your reader, someone gets it and reads the first 2 chapters, and then literally tears out the rest, and it's just like that was my art, my craft. I did that, and you don't care. So, but you have to think about these are cooperative games. These are games that you tell a story together. And if the DM is the only one at the table telling a story or progressing anything, then you're gonna have conflict. It's gonna feel weird. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, okay, if my NPC died and I wanted him to tell a story, there's another NPC. They don't know. Or I created this whole murder mystery in a big fancy manor, and for some reason they were just fixated on this candelabra and it's got to be. And I'm like, I had nothing. That wasn't it. There's a secret entrance behind this bookcase. Well, now the candelabra opens it. It wasn't part of the plan, but just go with it. Your players know what's interesting to them. Let what they're interested in be right, and you can figure out how to work in your stuff also, so you're meeting in the middle. It's not necessarily throw out all my work. It's okay, maybe the secret entrance isn't in the library anymore, it's in the kitchen. Right. Same story. You're going to end up in the same basement. They don't need to know the actual architecture of the building for it to make sense.
Absolutely.
And we all know that the butler did it anyway.
Fucking butler.
With the candlestick.
So awesome. So you've given us a lot of great insight, and I want to thank you for sharing. You're telling us a little bit about yourself. Every week we talk about in the realm and things that are going on in our lives. Is there anything particularly exciting going on in your life recently?
You know what? Actually, tomorrow is my first day at a new job. I got laid off in July, so I've been out of work for a little while. Which silver lining gave me a lot of time to do some writing, and I've been kicking out a lot of D&D content. But yeah, I start a new job tomorrow. So
congratulations! That's
thank
exciting.
you very much.
So thank you for that.
The one weekend that I actually have a lot going on.
Yeah, sorry. I need to cut it short. I know Matthew's on a timeline, and I don't want this running too long. So,
you left that part out.
Well, because I didn't feel it was necessary to explain it to you guys. But yes, we're on a time limit. What? What's with the dirty look?
Nothing.
Is it because
you know us? You know us.
Anyways, so I think that'll do it for In the Realm. Brandon, if they'd like to visit other realms, how can they do so?
They can visit our website at critacademy.com, where they can click this link that'll take them to Audible, where you can get a 30-day free Audible trial and a free book along with it.
Hell yeah. I love Audible. Woohoo! I'm not even just saying that because it's a sponsorship, but because I fucking love Audible. I love my book, man. I get sad when I run out before my credit comes back. All right, so moving on to our next segment, we have our Crit Nation Let's Talk About Blank segment, where we answer your questions. Brandon, would you like to take that question?
Yes, this question comes from Mike G, and I would shit myself if I go to my dad and say, "Hey, did you send our show a question? Are you secret playing D&D without us?"
What?
My father's name is Mike.
Oh yeah, it is Mike. It would be Mike Gray. Huh?
Michael Gray. Yeah, that'd be great. Let's see. He says, one of my players wants to be a level 1 elf scholar that is 300-ish years old and has vast knowledge, research, experience, and schooling. How do you handle character backstories that potentially give the player metagaming capabilities?
Matthew, we've actually had quite some discussions on this. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, my immediate impression when I read this question was, yeah, great, you're 300 years old and you have all this schooling, but it's about like culinary science or something. Like, fine, like you went to school, that's great, but okay, you study geology. So when we go into the dwarven fortress or get into this cave, you'll have a lot to shine. But if we go to a city, then that doesn't matter. Like, we go to a city that's made entirely out of wood and shingles or whatever. Like, so I think it's the level 1 elf scholar can't know everything about everything, I guess would be the way to put it. But even if he does, there's people who go to school and still struggle with stuff. That doesn't mean he's perfect. It just means he like read some books. You could make it the differentiation between a theoretical education and a practical knowledge of application. So even if you did go to school for weaponry or something, like, great, maybe you know how weapons are forged, you know all the science about metalworking, but you've never swung a sword in 300 years, so the first time you do, it's going to be really wild.
I got a degree in poultry science with a focus in deep frying.
I mean, yeah, you can go to school forever, but it's like saying you can go to school to be a surgeon and you got perfect grades and everything, but you fail your first appendix removal.
So because you're nervous
you
or
gotta do
something.
those hours. Actually, that might be the interesting hook here, is like, he went to elf school, which is like super long. Now he's trying to get his practical hours in. So he's going to go out and try and do these things, and he has to log all of his battles, and he has to log all of his skill rolls,
So he's a
and he has to
walking
take them
intern.
back to get credit to get his license.
Yeah.
That's great.
It could be kind of like how in the Wonder Woman movie, how Diana had a lot of book knowledge, but she had no street smarts because she was stuck on an island for centuries.
That is a
Yeah.
that is a great analogy, or a great great analogy. I like that. And Edward Tate says you can't learn common sense. So I would like to give a more mechanical answer. First of all, I agree with all of you. In our show, we've talked about how when you pick a race that has a long life, don't be afraid to make them long lived and how to better in role play that stuff. I think one of the examples we used in our Honor Tips and Tricks book is the old sage who remembers things the way they were, and so he references shit that's no longer there or whatever. But from a more mechanical standpoint, if my player wanted to do this, I would say take proficiency in history. Okay.
Make sure your skills line up with what you want.
And then just take the Sage background. The Sage background gives you a feature that says, and basically the short text of it is, you spent years learning the lore of the multiverse, blah, 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 blah. You scoured manuscripts, studied scrolls, all that stuff. And then it gives you the feature researcher. It says, when you attempt to learn or recall a piece of lore, if you don't know the information, you know whom you can go to and where you can find it.
Yep.
There it is. Just because you've... Mike, just because your player has studied for all this, per what these guys just said, doesn't mean he remembers it all, right?
Nope.
He probably doesn't have an eidetic or photographic memory, so he still needs to go to notes and stuff. So I would leverage that piece of information, and I would encourage him to build towards those couple mechanics and to make sure he takes training in history, because or any other intelligence-bound skill set. So
yeah, I do encourage to make sure that, like you were saying, the skill sets match the concept.
Yeah.
And
I've been studying forever, but I got like an 8 intelligence.
Yeah.
I can't remember it. 300 years, I can't remember what I read.
Or you have an 8 intelligence, but your skills boost your knowledge in those particular areas.
There you go. That's a good way to do it. Expertise.
Right.
A -1 modifier, but I took expertise in history.
Right.
I gotta spend eating. I gotta disagree with Tate though.
What?
You can't learn common sense. I'm pretty sure if you stick your hand in a fire, you're not gonna do it again.
I don't know. I've seen some people. Ow!
Oh, God.
Ooh, what's going to do again? Ow! Ooh, what's going to do again?
Best 3 out of 5.
All right. I think that'll do it for our Let's Talk About Blank segment.
Actually, I do want to make one more note. It says that his big concern is, how do you handle character backstories that potentially gives the character metagaming capabilities? You know my take on this. In my opinion, metagaming is not the dirty word that a lot of people make it out to be.
You dirty metagamer.
Don't get me started.
On a scale of 1 to 35.
Start a war. Shots fired.
Yep, but my point though is like there always is going to be some knowledge that players will know that will influence how they play no matter what they do in some way, shape, or form. But don't be afraid of that though.
I agree.
Oh, that's neat what Sam says. Your intelligence score isn't what it used to be. As you age, the intelligence score goes down some, but wisdom can go up some to compensate.
I feel like that's the old school aging rules in earlier editions.
Yeah, I don't think that's not a thing in 5e.
No.
Matthew, do you know if that's a thing in 5e?
I don't think that's like part of the book. I think they've scrubbed out a lot of those kind of more.
It's not a thing in
minute
5e.
thing.
Right.
I mean, who has characters that an elf would have to live hundreds more years? Who,
Right.
not many people even play that
Yeah.
campaign.
And
Right.
actually, I think a 300-year-old elf would be considered what, middle age?
I have no idea. My 300 years of elf study doesn't exist, so I don't know.
Yeah.
How could you imagine a character like that with intelligence of like 1 but a wisdom of 20?
Yeah, I think we had that as a question for me and Ryan, and we had a really tough time answering it. And I don't want to get into that because that was a long discussion that I had to cut like a half-hour discussion down to like 5 minutes.
It just means you have
Terrible.
book smarts, but you have a crap ton of common sense.
Anyways,
Or problem solving skills.
so I think that'll do it for our Let's Talk About Blank segment. Thank you, Mike, for your submission. We hope we answered your question. If we didn't, please send a letter to our complaint department at critacademy@gmail.com with a $5 check attached to it, and we'll make sure we read it. All right, now on to the meat and potatoes of the show.
Do we get gravy?
I fucking hate
Would
you.
you like
God, I
gravy?
hope so.
It depends on what kind of gravy you want.
Chicken.
What the? Get the fuck out of here.
No, it's
Only one gravy. Country gravy.
No KFC gravy.
Get the fuck out of here, too. What about you, Matthew?
Eat my ass.
Careful, he might do it.
I will ass gravy.
Somebody left some of that all over the ring of the toilet when I was at the mall today.
Oh, come on.
Gross. Oh my god, that's so bad.
I'm pretty sure this part will be edited out. Matt, we're sorry.
Welcome to Cricket.
where the show's made up and fuck everything else. All right, so I'm really excited for our main topic today. I spent a lot of time going through Dmsguild, and I'm good friends with a lot of the top content creators. We actually just released our first product ourselves, our Unearthed Tips and Tricks, which is kind of a collection of our thoughts and ideas and discussions we've had on the show. But creating a Paladin Oath, I stumbled across this because I was looking for different archetypes and stuff to evaluate. Because recently we just did, we're in the middle of doing our class analysis on Matt Mercer.
Matt Mercer?
Yes, fuck, I know his goddamn name. It isn't coming out, all right? Matthew Mercer's content right now. So when I stumbled across this, I was really excited because this is developing a character archetype in class is hard enough. Doing it in a really good way, in a balanced way, is even harder. And that's what made this jump out at me, is you really did a fantastic job. So I wanted to bring as much attention to this as I could, which we only have 2 listeners, so I don't know how much more money that's going to get you, but
Get both of them.
hopefully both of them. So the title is Create a Paladin Oath. Am I correct?
I just called it create an oath with hyphens. That's kind of the series is create a blank, where the blank is a subclass, an archetype.
Wonderful. We will have a link in our show notes and on our website when this episode goes live. Matthew, can you tell us? I wrote out Matt. I'm gonna fix that, or it's gonna keep messing me up.
That doesn't take much.
Shut up. So Matthew, can you give us a short overview of this product and really a little more detail on how it came to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So there was actually somebody I follow on Twitter was just saying that they wanted to roll up a new Paladin, and they were sick of all the other options, and they just wanted somebody to give them, a suggestion, a recommendation for exactly what you were looking for, which was a pre-written subclass, an archetype for a Paladin that they could run. And me, being the classic overthinker that I am, said, I'll do you one better. I will create a guide that will tell you how to create the Paladin Oath. So you could come in with whatever crazy idea you wanted to, run it through this guide, and at the other end come out with hopefully what is a balanced and somehow standardized Paladin Oath.
Neat.
And you did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
So we're gonna kind of basically step through this as we go with our questioning. I don't know if you have a copy open for yourself. You probably don't need it because you made it all. But walking through this, there's many things that make the paladin stand out among other characters. Clerics have to worship a deity. Barbarians have their own sort of clan kind of culture. And then you've got the paladin that has to have oaths and tenets that they follow. So can you tell us a little bit about what goes into creating an oath and starting with, the name and the tenets maybe?
Yeah, definitely. And I think I wrote this in there. You can come up with a name later, obviously, that, it's just something cool to cap it all off, but you really should get the tenets down because these are the 3 to 4 things, like the actual practical oaths that the paladin is taking when they follow this oath. So this can be thing like, you will not harm a creature unprovoked. Like you'll never draw first blood, or you can't attack a good creature. Like you can only attack evil creatures. Like those are very vanilla mechanical type of tenets, but they can also be a little more vague and a little more open to interpretation, which allows different players to follow the same oath and yet have different play styles. So it could say, you have to uphold justice. That means a lot of different things to a lot of different people in a lot of different places, but that could be the part of the oath. So once you've kind of figured out, okay, I want my paladin oath to be lawful. I want my paladin oath to be holy retribution. I want my paladin oath to be the worship of evil deities or whatever, and sowing chaos. You kind of need to rationalize those into those tenets. I think you don't have to do a lot of the narrative stuff when you're creating a subclass if you're just doing it for yourself to play. Mm-hmm. But I will say that even if you're just doing it for yourself, you need to write these tenets. Because if you're not really following them, then you're not really playing a paladin, and you're not really playing the paladin in the spirit that the paladin was created. So highly recommend doing the tenets, even if it's just some bullet points, just write a few things that your paladin has to do.
Neat.
So you actually, do you have any examples you can give us that aren't part of like the traditional PH? I know there's a couple actually in this source, the supplement you've created.
Yeah, there's two examples in the guide. So if you buy my guide, it's Pay What You Want on Dmsguild. In addition to all the steps to create your own oath, there are 2 oaths in it that I create step by step. So each section has just the creation elements for this. So there's I believe there's Oath of the Stars. I do have to open mine up because I don't remember the names. Yeah, there's Oath of Stars and Oath of Penance. So Oath of Stars I wanted this to play on kind of divination and seeing the future, and in this context I wanted it to be more like, well, what is your deity have planned? Like what is the divine plan, or what is fate, if you will? So there's a lot of things bringing in the divinations, the prophecies, that kind of stuff. And the other one is Oath of Penance, and this is more of a, this is a guy who is kind of a wandering judge of sorts, and it's not necessarily his job to punish people. It's his job to make sure people punish themselves. So it's all about atonement. The followers of this deity are supposed to atone themselves. They're supposed to make the right necessary apologies, both verbal and physical, when they sin. This paladin oath is supposed to be more about enforcing that, and if they don't want to do their self-punishment, then this guy has to step in and say, okay, well, punishment needs to happen, and I will do it if I have to.
So until your oath based on making people basically it's an oath that basically you're guilt tripping people got.
A little bit, yeah. And it even has, there's I think as part of the channel divinity I wrote, if you heal somebody, or there's a feature in here, if you heal somebody that you just punished or made punished, they punish themselves, there's a bonus there. So it isn't about killing. It's not about permanence damage. It's just you have to atone. But if you do that, then I'm going to grant you bonuses. I'm going to come in and give you the light to heal you back up.
Kind of reminded me of fucking Ghost Rider a little bit with like, isn't that similar
Penance
to like his
Stare, yeah.
penance stare, where he's making them see all the wrongs that they've done and guilt. And I think it like paralyzes them or something, or does it kill them? I don't remember.
I think it often drives them insane.
Well, don't be a douche and don't be a dick, and it won't be a problem.
Because he basically forces you to live every single evil thing you've done to other people
Man,
from their perspective.
oh man, there needs to be a D&D equivalent of that. Ooh, Wish. I found a better use for Wish. Who needs gold?
You give me 40 hail Bahamutes and whip yourself with this vlog a few times.
So this to me the tenets are super important because and correct me if I'm wrong, if you break your tenets, it's considered breaking your oath and pushing you to oath breaker. Am I incorrect in that?
Yeah, that's the way I read it. It's not an immediate thing. So if you break your tenets, it's the way I kind of understand it is it's up to the DM to decide what happens in that period. But basically, as written, is you break your tenets, and then you have to start making amends for that. You have to work to correct that. And as long as you're in that period of correction, you maintain all of your powers. Now, the DM could opt to say, okay, while you're atoning for breaking your tenet, you have limited or removed powers. But it's not technically part of the rules as written. You only become an oathbreaker if you break your tenets and make no effort to correct. So it's not just I broke a tenet one time, instantly I'm an oathbreaker. There's a pad there. There's a lot of ambiguity for the player and the DM to work something
I like
out.
the gradual disappearing of your abilities. Like as the DM, you say, okay, you broke your tenet, so you're gonna have half as many spell slots for a while until you atone for it.
That's what I like. Yeah, I would definitely add some house rules in there to, the amount of power you have is inversely proportionate to the amount of tenets you are breaking.
That's dope.
I'm actually thinking of Paladin from the second.
Yes, that's where I was going with that.
Yeah.
No, don't want to give no spoilers, but there's in one of Brendan Sanderson's books,
Stormbreaker Archives.
I was trying not to say
Stormlight
the
Archives.
exact name, but because I didn't want to give a spoiler. But one of the characters in it actually has these oaths that they take, and when they start to ignore those oaths or those responsibilities
Or sidestep them.
or or go around them and justify them in another way, they end up beginning to lose some of their power for a little while, which is really interesting. So
Translation: When the voice in your head is telling you are screwing up, you might want to listen to that voice.
I was saying, I could think of an awesome flavor for this. Is that because I'm thinking of it's one of the party members from the Doom movie and also Nightcrawler from X-Men.
We don't talk about the Doom movie.
I don't care. I thought it was good.
But you're wrong.
Fuck you.
The only good part of that movie is when it ended, dude.
Except for the lack of hell. That was kind of disappointing. But
You mean the whole premise of Doom?
would you shut up?
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
Fair enough.
That's okay, Sam. We all got work to do. But in both Doom and in X-Men, the two characters
Do you need help? Do you
Yeah,
need me
I
to Google
can't
it for
think
you?
of the term I'm looking for. Whenever they're trying to
Repent.
make it right again.
You're welcome, Sam.
Redeem.
Reader.
Yes.
Redeem.
Oh, that's a good
Redeem
one, too.
themselves. That's better.
Oh, what the fuck?
They scar themselves with
Oh,
patterns
is that
around
why
their
he's
body.
so messed up in the first the X-Men movie?
Nightcrawler
Yeah.
has all those designs on him because they're scars that he put on himself as penance for all the bad things that he's done.
Great. Now think about that one dude from the second season of Castlevania.
That's dope. No spoilers.
I haven't seen the second season.
It's fucking amazing. If you haven't watched the Castlevania Netflix season, you need to. It's fucking great. Anyways,
I love the Viking vampire.
so I noticed we don't actually have a character concept, so I think that would be a good one. We should. Maybe I'll crop that part out and we'll talk about it later. As a character concept, a character who's all scarred up and everything because I think it'll go good with the topic. So
Yeah.
I'll crop this part out and we'll talk about it as the character concept.
Yeah, because in Doom, that guy, they're trying to be quiet and he drops something and goes, God damn it. He takes his knife out and he scrapes a cross in his arm and his body's just covered in crosses. He says, whenever I take the Lord's name in vain, I'm like,
Oh
oh,
Jesus!
good God.
Wow. Anyways,
Yes. What can you tell us about the oath spells and choices?
Yeah, this is one. So I posted these guys. I have this guide and two more, and I posted them on Reddit and Unearthed Arcana to get some feedback from them. And one of the things that it came up specifically in the Warlock guide, but people put a lot of thought into these for mechanical balancing, and I don't as much. I just don't put that much time into it. You know, these are a very small number of spells that you're going to use in a very small number of situations, and I don't want to spend the majority of my time kind of min-maxing all of those spells. So I try and make them thematic more than anything.
Sure.
And I try and make sure that they don't inherently break the game. But I'm not going to go check if I put in, Speak to Dead at, in the spell choices. I'm not going to go through and see how does Speak with Dead interact with literally every spell that is available to the Paladin at that level and start considering multi-class. Like, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
You're making homebrew. If it comes up at the table that it breaks, fix it, So I'm just not going to spend a lot of time up front. I could spend hours going through, the player's handbook and Xanathars and all of the content on Dmsguild and all the content on Unearthed Arcana and all the other stuff floating out there and try and get like the perfect spell list.
Mm-hmm.
But we have lives.
It's 10, literally, it's 10 spells. And you have to get to level 17 to access them all? Like, it's it's not that big. It's really not.
Most people only get like the first 4, I think, maybe 6.
Yeah. So that's my personal take on that is if you want to spend a ton of time crafting that spell list, go nuts. Me, I make that list thematic first, and then I double check to make sure it's not immediately breaking anything. And then if something breaks at the table, I fix it.
And do you also have to check if they're already Paladin spells in the first place, or?
So with the Paladin, you don't. With the Warlock, you're adding net new spells, so you do want to make sure they're not on the Warlock list. With the Paladin one, these are ones that I believe are always prepared and don't count against your list of prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So even if they're Paladin spells, they're not full value, quote unquote, because they had access to them anyway as a Paladin, but they are kind of always prepared. So there's still some value there.
And that's why I asked that question.
Yeah. So kind of to that point, have you had anybody respond to you through your Dmsguild account saying, hey, I found that this is blatantly broken or anything like that yet?
Not in specifics. Again, when I posted the Warlock guide on Reddit, there were some people that had, those comments, and they're valid. They're 100% valid concerns, but it's just like, what's the payoff here? I'm going to spend hours trying to min-max these spells for the 1% chance that this spell is going to interact with the other spell that could break the whole game. Just fix it at the table. It's so like that's going to take 4 seconds for your DM to be like, nope, we're not going to do that because that breaks the whole game. Right. Versus spending 4 extra hours in subclass creation. So again, that's just my personal preference. You get as deep as you want into the spells when you're creating a subclass.
So as we work our way through the Paladin, everyone knows that the innate power of all Paladins is their channel divinity. That is one of their signature babies that really lets them stand out. Them and the cleric as well. But God damn it, the ability to call on powers of your god to create great effects on the mortal realm. So what kind of designing goes into such a legendary feature?
Yeah, these were ones where I wanted to make sure these again they needed to feel very thematic. Like you said, they're a cornerstone of being a paladin, so it's important that they make sense. And what I did was I kind of listed out, I went through all the different channel divinities and said, here's the basic ones. There's, turning enemies, whether they be unholy or undead or demonic or fey or whatever it is, you have some group of targets that you can turn away from you. There's inflicting conditions, like you can stun people or silence people or petrify people. Like that's another common one. Adding bonuses, healing, protection, and some of them even do damage. So all that said is channel divinity can really do anything. Again, make it thematic to what your paladin is. If your paladin is about making, forcing people to atone, that's why one was kind of like, forcing them to do a thing, commanding them to do a thing, and the other was healing them afterwards. Being able to take somebody who has atoned and shown their divine kind of obligation and rewarding them. So are they the most powerful thing in the world? No, but they're very thematic. You do want them to be powerful because they are limited usages. But to balance them, you need to make sure you get more channel divinities in higher levels. So you don't want to use, you don't want to make it too powerful. It's a weird one because you have access to it for 20 levels, basically.
Right.
You get the subclass at 3rd. You have access to it forever. And it needs to be balanced across all of those levels. And those are the hard ones. I actually find balancing the early level features to be the hardest.
Okay, so kind of in that same vein, because you're trying to identify whether it needs to be protection or restoration or inflicting damage, what kind of guide or template do you give to make sure that the person attempts to balance that so it isn't blatantly overpowered? Or is that another thing just left that, hey, if you feel like what you make is broken?
Balance is a hard one because you could write a subclass, but you're never going to truly know if it's balanced until you play it.
Right.
And so, again, if this is just for your table, take your best guess with what you're used to seeing. If you've played a lot of Paladins before and they do a lot of D8 damage, make it a D8. And if it's supposed to be a once in a while thing, make it a D10 or 2D8 or something like that. Kind of use your experience there as your initial guide to setting those. And then again, you go to the table and you're like, whoa, I'm killing everything. Everything is literally dying when I look at them. So maybe I'll change these things.
That means you're doing your job.
I do see that you do give a lot of recommendations in your presentation about some of the values that should be tied to those. So that's really good.
Yeah, and those are, again, just based off of my personal experience and also the numbers that I saw when I looked at all of the currently available official Paladin oaths. There was a lot of overlap between all of them. Actually, the Paladin, so I've written Paladins, I've written Barbarians, I've written Warlocks, and I'm starting to work on Monks. Out of all of those, Paladins are the most standardized subclass I've worked with. They actually have which is why I was able to crack out this guide and have it be like so fleshed out, was all of the Paladin channel divinities fit into some buckets. All of the first feature fit into buckets, and it was really standardized. The second feature is almost always an aura. The last feature is almost always a transformation with about a minute duration. So it was easy to kind of come in here and just take all those data points, give ranges and suggestions, and put them in here. And even, again, because this one was so standardized, there's actually forms in here to say, when you're writing this feature, write these words and replace, Mad Lib style, these few fill in the blanks, and suddenly you've written a channel divinity.
Huh.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah, they are pretty standard, and it actually shows quite a bit in some of your later designs for the 7th, 15th, and 20th level, because I went back and looked at them, and you're right. They're basically very specific styles of features that they are across all the different builds. They're just different ways of accomplishing the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to take the next question there? Are you following along in the show notes?
Yeah. I apologize, guys. I hope that camera or the mic didn't pick that up.
I hope it didn't pick up your stank ass. He fucking walked all the way over there and ripped the nastiest motherfucker, and it drifts this way. I swear to God, dude.
I think the building
run
shook.
you over with my car.
It sucked. I was sitting there for like 20 minutes. That pain in your gut. You're like, oh fuck, it's coming.
And we're right here, right?
Yes.
That didn't sound very confident.
I think that's where we're at. Go with that.
I think so too. Okay.
Because so we kind of talked a little bit about healing and kind of building protection.
And when you build a paladin like subclass, when you decide to focus on combat, punishment, or physical prowess, like what helps you decide that, and what recommendations do you give for designing such oaths?
So my personal recommendation is I find it more interesting when paladins are not focused on physical fighting because they're so set up for it. Like they have armor, they have weapon training, they hit really hard. And
yeah, they do.
Yeah, so creating a Paladin Oath where the tenets are you can't ever throw the first punch is hilarious to me. It's a fun thing to play. So that's what I like to do. But if you want to have again a Paladin that is more out of the box, that is more focused on combat and physical prowess, then totally. There are examples in all of the official subclasses where some feature in almost all of them is damaging. You know, even the Paladin that's the healer class still has some oomph to them. So if you just collected all those things and put them into all of these features in Channel Divinity, then yeah, maybe you're just a, you know, missile wielding, you know, hammer throwing Paladin, and that's all you do. If that's fun for you, you know, then by all means go explore that subclass. Again, my recommendation would be to give yourself some outs. You know, if you want the bulk of it to be combat, great, but maybe one of the features is not combat and one of the channel divinities is not combat. And with, you know, to go back to the spell choices, I always try and make sure that if I'm putting two things on the list, they're not both combat spells. So at that level, it's not like, oh, well, this level gives me these two spells and they're both combat and I'm trying not to do combat, or vice versa. That's basically a wasted level for people using that subclass. And this is a subclass you're writing yourself, so don't give yourself bad levels. You know, go nuts, do whatever's fun for you.
I could definitely see something like, let's say somebody decides to make like Oath of the Inquisitor or something like that. Somebody who like hunts down truth, and you give yourself for a spell, Zone of Truth.
Right. And that's
absolutely.
following that theme that he keeps talking about.
I always forget that when you get access to the two spells that come up on that list, can you only choose one, or do you get both?
You get both.
You get access to both of them.
Because I don't play Magic user, so I always forget.
I was going to have you read that, but I decided we've already kind of covered that, so I don't think we need to go into that part.
Okay.
So, and we've also talked a little... So we've kind of already talked a little bit about the sample oaths that you've created using this methodology in this supplement. Is there... I was going to say, do we want to go into another one or just push on forward and get to the rest of it?
I have another subclass that I have been working on. It's not like done, but we can talk about it if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome. If you've got an oath that you've kind of been working on, I'd love to hear about it.
Is that a secret project?
No, I was just, dinking around with it and putting one out. So the Paladin Oath I'm working on right now is called the Oath of the Veil. And what I wanted to do with the high concept was, what if you're a paladin who wants to die and come back a lot? And the way I kind of themed that was the followers of the Oath of the Veil their tenets are to, make sure that the people who need to die do, and the people who need to live do. And it's kind of, again, themed around fate or deity or again, however you want to play it. And then that translates into them needing to be in touch with the veil to know what the veil demands. So I haven't really figured out how it works feature-wise, but my thoughts are they're going to have like bonuses to death saves so they can try and die. They could maybe switch places metaphysically with somebody who's doing death saves. They come back to life and you go into doing death saves as the paladin. A lot of like life transferring. So I can heal, but it comes from me. So I'm always kind of like pushing myself or pulling myself, with respects to the veil, either further or closer. So that's kind of like my whole shtick with that guy is it's more about, in order to know what the fate demands, I have to be in touch with fate. And the only way I can get in touch with fate is to go to the veil and come back.
Awesome.
That sounds baller. Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, absolutely.
On our show, we always talk about DMs using the hit dice in a better format. Yeah. I would love to see an ability that transfers hit die from one person to another to allow them to give up their ability to recover to have another person recover.
Yeah, heck yeah. That sounds exactly in line with the theme that I was going for with Oath of the Veil.
I feel like hit die get overlooked by everybody.
Right? Actually, I think this guide, one thing I think we can, for the most part, agree with, the Paladin is though somewhat Solid is a somewhat specialized class in the sense of, okay, yeah, sure, I have some spellcasting, but let's face it, I'm built to be a tank and to hit like a truck occasionally.
Right.
But I can definitely see how this guy can help open up some versatility.
Yeah, I agree.
And like let's say like somebody like comes to town and sometimes goes, you know what? I love paladins, but I'd like to make a dex-based paladin. You know what? Let's make him an archer. Let's go like the Oath of the Hunter or the Oath of the Wind, whatever.
Oh, that's dope.
Just so we can use like Divine Smite with arrows.
Which currently is not a viable thing.
No.
So that would make it very unique.
Side note, my inspiration for that is totally Archer from Fate's Day Night.
Oh, nice. I kind of love that show.
I haven't seen that.
That's good.
I love the moment when they were fighting Berserker and Archer just suddenly disappears. And I was like, where the crap does this guy go?
Invisibility.
Fight for a few minutes, only to we telepathically Earth's like, you might want to run. And they cut to Archer, who's like on the other side of the city with his bow pulled back and the arrow glowing, and he fires. Nuclear explosion on impact, basically.
That's dope. That's how you play a ranger right there.
That would be a cool sub-paladin class, just saying.
Hey, the ranged sub-paladin oath, I'm into it.
He likes it.
I don't know what anime it's from, but it's the greatest example I've ever seen of a D&D ability where when someone attacks you, you attack back, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a samurai versing this really big. He's got a big old beard and he's huge and he's got a cleaver. And he comes down on him. He actually slices off part of his arm, like you can see his muscle. And he's like, "Haha, I got you!" And then his arm just kind of falls off.
Oh, that's from one of the Lupin the Third movies that focused on Guilliman.
Is that what that was?
Yeah,
because it shows it back in slow motion. And as the guy was coming down, he brought his sword up and sacrificed his arm so that he could just cut his arm off.
disarm the guy.
It's like,
Oh, God.
Literally.
Oh, that looks like it hurt so much.
Yeah, that fight was painful to watch. It was awesome, but it was painful to watch.
All right. You've given us a lot of really great insight into this feature. Once again, you guys. Where's my little thingy here? Let's scroll up.
It's in your pants.
Oh, shut up, fucker. Once again, we want to thank you for walking us through this Create an Oath. Matthew Gravelyn. Gravelyn? Did I mess it up?
You got it. You're
Gravelyn.
second guessing yourself. You know what's up.
Well, it's because most of the time I'm wrong.
It's true.
So I kind of got to second guess myself. So we want to thank you for sharing your Create an Oath with us. Like I said, I really thought this was a great tool. I love being able to kind of make and give my players kind of power to create new stuff. Usually I do it more from a flavor standpoint, but this really jumped out at me and I wanted to share it. So you mentioned you were working on a lot of other projects. Is there a new secret project coming up that you're working on you can give Crit Nation a little taste of?
I do have a secret project, but I can't tell you about. The one project that's kind of slowly coming out right now is Humblewood. If you're familiar with the Deck of Many, they do kind of D&D supplements and a tarot card pack with booklets. And they recently did a Kickstarter for animated spell cards, which are very, very cool.
That is dope.
So we created this new setting for Humblewood that's fully compatible with 5e, and the Humblewood is populated with birdfolk races. So we created 5 new bird-inspired races for the Humblewood, and we currently have a 1st to 3rd level adventure that goes along with it, and you can download that for free right now at humblewood.net and check it out. We would love to get feedback on it. And I got to be the lead writer on that project. I worked with the Deck of Many crew and the extremely talented artist Leisha Hannigan. It's been an absolutely amazing project, and I can't wait to get all that feedback and start working on, kind of round 2.
Nate.
Look at the little owl.
So I just pulled up the link you just suggested, and on the very first page is like a crow wizard, and then a tiny little like cute
Barn
owl dressed in like full armor with a sword and shield.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Yes, I'm
it's
ready.
a night owl.
Oh, that is awesome! That is the dopest thing ever. You guys got to check this out. I'm gonna definitely check it out and give my thoughts and opinions
That's
on it.
hundreds of times better than Alabama.
Whoa, motherfucker!
Let's not do anything rash.
I'm about to drop I don't know what I'm gonna edit you out of the whole show today on this episode. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. There's some fighting words. Obama is a great creation. Nobody administers Obamacare better than he does with his little potions, okay? All right, kind of a bit of a tangent there. All right, so yeah, so that's really awesome. Once again, you guys, there is a link to both Humblewood and to Create an Oath in our show notes. We'll also make sure that there's a link on our post when we share it. Thank you for sharing that with us, Matthew, and what an amazing job. I'm looking forward to checking out all your other work now.
Barbarians and Warlocks are out right now also. They're all pay what you want. And I started working on Monks. Monks are weird. They are. If Paladins are standardized, Monks have nothing. Like, Monk subclasses have nothing in common with each other. Even look at Elementalists. Like, that was just like, nah, he's a caster instead. It's like, oh, okay, well, there's nothing to look at here. It's just a completely different class.
Side note, how about, like, for your example, we do the Elemental Monk so he doesn't suck.
Yeah. I like the Elemental Monk. It's not powerful, but can do
I might
cool stuff.
put Monks up on the shelf for a little bit and look into the other classes, because I've been working on Monks for like 2 weeks now and I don't have anything.
See, I feel like that's the discussion at the round table at WotC every single week. Like, all right, guys, we got to reshelf the Monk because we can't make no
we
progress.
don't know what to do with this.
Or actually, my favorite character, one of my favorite characters I played in 4E was a Fire Monk. Mm-hmm. And we don't have anything like that anymore. It was great. It was fun.
No fun for you. All right, so that'll do it for our main topic today. Before we move on to our fourth and final segment, we have one more gift to give away, compliments of Loresmith. Brandon.
Huh.
Who's our winner today?
CS Perry 24. Sounds like a great DDR song.
Right? That it?
Fantasy DDR?
D and DDR.
Oh my god.
That's it. That's better. Nope, that's way better.
Hey, that was a good one.
Nothing like D and Dick. What, Dudes and Dicks?
Dudes and Dicks. The adult game I'm thinking about making.
Oh, that's funny. Congratulations, C Perry 24. If you enjoy the adventure, please head on over to Loresmith and let him know. Leave him a review. Let him know what you like, what you didn't like, and help him improve his products moving forward.
By the way, you may have rolled a 20 on Alabama, but you totally rolled a 1 on Whip and Nene.
Fuck you. I hate you sometimes.
Like, he doesn't deny it.
Yeah. It wasn't my proudest moment. So a listener submitted a character concept or some shit with, I didn't have a name. There was no name attached to it, so I had to give it a name, and it was all built around using like a rapier and a whip, right, with dual wield or some shit. And so I called it the Whip and Nene, and they fucking won't let it go.
The listener didn't let go either.
Yeah. Anyways, I gotta actually add this previously. Just so you guys know, Pay What You Want is you can, if you like, Pay What You Want allows you to download a product for free. If you like it, please make sure to go back and throw them a few bucks if you do download it for free. Especially if you like a product, because that's a good way to show the creator a lot of, goodwill, and that allow them to want to create more content.
Ooh, Oath of the Cartographer.
Okay, you just need to stop talking.
All right, or if you really like it and you don't want to buy it, you should give him some money anyways, because he's got a monster beard and it's pretty good. If you like beards, give me money.
Oh my god, I love the Pay What You Want model, because there's a lot of people that wouldn't be worth my money, but there's a lot of people that really have good stuff. You can always go back and give, and if you use it a lot, get more. Go back and just keep.
I'd buy that for $1.
All right, so our fourth and final segment is our Unearthed Tips and Tricks, where we bring you new and reusable content, or new and creative content for you to bring with you on your next adventure. Our first UTT is our character concept. We are calling it the Scarred Repentant.
Repenting Scars?
No, it needs a better name than that. We were just talking about it. I told you I was going to edit out and add it.
Yeah.
The Scarred Repentant? No.
Come
on, help. Come up with something.
I'm trying to.
You guys
we
suck.
keep talking.
I still think Repenting Scars is badass.
What do you think, Matthew?
He's
like, I don't care.
I can't stop thinking about Repentant now. Yeah, I just like that's in there, but it doesn't quite sound right.
I know, right? The Scarred Pennant? No. The Scar Penance? Penance? Why are you cutting yourself? Why is he cutting himself?
Okay,
To repent, right?
what's a synonym for masochist?
What the fuck?
No, there's a name for when in old religious doctrine when you hurt yourself as punishment.
Right.
I thought there was like a single name for that whole concept.
Flagellation?
Flagellation. Yeah, the flagellist.
The that sounds like the flagellant. The flagellist?
There's gotta be a way to make this work.
All right.
Okay.
I do have to take off a little bit early if you guys
Okay.
are
No problem.
cool
That's
with
fine.
that, but I
All right, well-
really appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for joining us. You have a blessed day, and guys, make sure to check out his product, okay?
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, see you later, buddy.
Ooh.
I'll let
Oh,
you-
wait. Discard a toner.
Scarred a toner?
Atoning scars.
Atoning scars, that could work.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Real quick, Matthew, I will, right now this is to be determined, but I think this should come out on the 16th, so I will let you know like of 24 to 48 hours in advance when it's going live, so that way if you've got like places you want to share with your peeps or anything,
100%
you can do that. Also, I have been some of the other DMs Guild guys have been tossing the link into like in one of the reviews, so I'll make sure to leave a review and put it in there as well.
Oh,
So-
yeah, that'd be great, actually.
No.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Thank
you.
you,
Have a
thank you.
blessed day, Matthew.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I don't want to end meeting. I just want to kick him out. Be going.
Uh,
Look at that. It went right. Look at that.
Huh.
That's the first time it went right automatically on its own.
anyone else think that he looked like Will Wheaton?
No.
No, not at all. But thanks for playing. All right. So what did we decide? Atone scars.
Discard the toner.
A toner. That sounds like an ink cartridge. Like a damaged.
Atoning scars. Scars of the atonement.
Repentant.
That's what I had before. Nobody liked it. Scars of the repentant.
Scars of the I fucked up my religion.
Scars of the atoned.
Discard the toner.
No, not a toner. Is that well? I guess scars of the atoner.
Discard the apologist. Apologetic. Something. Crap.
I like a
Is
toner
a
better
toner a
because that suggests that he's gonna keep doing it.
It's not a word though.
It is now.
No. Atoning scars is what I'm gonna call it.
Discard apologist.
You know how you say a word so many times it loses its meaning?
Yeah. All right.
Actually, apologist is a word.
no, it's not apologist. A toner is what I was talking about.
Oh.
A toner is what you put in your printer.
That's what I said. Stop stealing my fucking terrible jokes. Brandon, would you like to tell us about our character concept today?
Our character concept is called the Atoning Scars. A religious character who follows his path, and when he fucks up, he cuts himself. That sounds like every goth kid in America.
So a self-mutilating character. Do you have any examples?
Nightcrawler is the best one I can think of.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because it's got to get cut out. So you got to do that whole spiel again. You had a really good spiel there, and did you forget?
Or you could just copy and paste it.
That's harder than you would think.
Yeah, no.
You fucking had this whole spiel between Doom and Nightcrawler.
Yeah,
and it's
but this is an actual explanation of what the character is. Atoning Scars. What's the name of someone who's extremely religious?
Devout.
Zealot.
A zealot.
Zealot or devout? Both. Both? No.
Both work, but zealot.
A zealot sounds best.
We'll go
So
zealot.
yeah, Atoning Scars. A zealot who wanders his own path and believes that when he messes or makes a mistake,
You want me to do this?
Yes, I can't tell stories like you can.
You fucking nailed it earlier.
I was
Anyways,
going off things that existed already.
So our character concept of the day, kind of following our Paladin theme, is the Atoning Scars. In this, we talked a lot earlier about tenets of a Paladin and how you need to repent in order to regain or prevent yourself from losing your features. There are many characters in movies that we've seen before that do similar things where, like, in order to repent, they do a physical damage to their body. The most common one would be the Nightcrawler, right?
Right.
Nightcrawler,
That's an example.
you know, when he does something bad, he cuts himself. So when everyone sees him, he has these very intricate bodily scars all around him that actually don't look terrible. They almost look like a glyph or something, don't they?
Artistic.
Yeah.
Actually, scarification tattoos are totally a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing now.
I didn't know that.
And I heard it's very painful.
Well, I imagine cutting yourself would be. Not that we're condoning cutting yourself is okay. That is bad. Don't do that. This is a game. Make believe. And so anytime you're this character, probably a paladin or a cleric who turns away from his deity or something, ends up doing something that goes against their traditional beliefs for whatever reason. Maybe they have a good reason against it. They have to repent to ensure that they still follow their deity, that they still, follow their oaths, and this is their way to kind of make up for it. And the more chaotic I think you make your character, where they're willing to fight and break some of those things in certain circumstances, this can make an interesting character concept. Can you guys think of any other characters who have done something similar in any movies or anything?
Yeah, I almost thought about the villain from Black Panther, but that was a totally different thing.
Talking about the guy from Doom.
Yeah, the guy from Dune is a good example.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. There's a member of the Marines who, I'm not sure if he's a zealot or not, but whenever he takes the Lord's name in vain to him, he carves crosses in his body. Like he does in the movie. They're being all quiet, and he drops a barrel. He's like, oh, God damn it. And he just, without even hesitation, he turns around, grabs the blade from his pants, brings up his sleeve, and just, and then girl looks at him like, the fuck are you doing? He's like, I took his name in vain. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting character concept. A little bit dark, but I think this could go really well. What if it's a warlock, right? And
they're goth paladins, or cleric. No, warlocks are goth clerics. We all know it.
So maybe that's something that he has to do when he does something that his if he's close to his the pact. What do they call it? His
patron.
Yeah. If he's close to his patron, where when he does something his patron doesn't approve of, maybe he makes a little bit of scars or something. You mentioned Killmonger does something similar, I think, but his reasonings are different.
Every time he kills somebody.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Scales when he's done.
Do you know how I got these scars?
I killed an entire village.
I think that'll do it for our character concept, atoning scars.
Did they fight back? Nope.
Brandon, or Ian, would you like to tell us about our monster variant today?
I would love to. The basis for this was the half troll, but we decided to up it to 11 a little bit, and we turned into a half ogre.
Ooh.
Wait, no.
That's the other way around there, boss.
Yeah. Our monster variant of the day is the half troll. We start with the half ogre, but you know what? As cool as half ogres are, we decided to up it to 11. And
I'm sorry, half troll is supposed to think you come across a bridge and like, pay the toll. Can I pay it a different way?
Well, because he's part troll, we're gonna give him regeneration.
Oh God.
He regains 3 HP to start his turn, and if he takes extra fire damage, it doesn't kick in. And he only dies if he starts with 0 HP and does not regenerate. Good luck keeping that guy down. And we also gave him Stomp. Not like the band, just in the building.
Jeez.
And as a bonus action, you give the half ogre. Don't you mean half troll?
Typo.
Yeah.
As a bonus action, you give the half troll the Stomp action. And the target must be smaller than itself and prone. And short version.
You don't need to read all that.
I know. Basically, it's just an additional hit.
Yeah, as a bonus action, you can stomp on somebody that's laying on the ground.
Stomp!
So, what do you guys think about this? Because we all talk about fighting trolls and stuff. Trolls are hard to deal with in and of themselves.
Yep.
But a creature that's half a troll might not be as recognizable, and hopefully players won't metagame right immedially to.
That's assuming you're dumb enough to tell them they're half troll.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't tell them they're half troll. Yeah, no, definitely.
Hell, I mean, if they got the tusk, they might just assume it's half ogre.
Right.
There you go.
So,
and that could be a thing. I mean,
or they may assume it's an orc.
There you go.
Or that.
Yeah. So there's a, depending on how you describe this as a DM, this could be a really good thing that catches them off guard, because they're not gonna.
Half ogres are half orc. Never mind.
Yeah, they are. That's funny. I don't know why I didn't catch that. This is a really simple one. This is actually a big bad that's going to be part of a battle that I'm having with the kids at the church.
Yep.
This is the big bad. He's only like he's a low CR. They're all level 1, so or level 2 or something like that.
And only half as annoying on the internet.
Yeah. But this is a really simple build, but I thought it needed a little more oomph. So I'm gonna do a lot of shoving to knock the players down and then stomp on them because I think that's awesome. And kicking a player while they're down is just my kind of thing. So it's a really simple one. I hope you guys like it. That is our monster variant, the half troll.
He just comes out with his catchphrase, "I'm gonna curb stomp your ass."
It's like puppy kicking humor. It can be hilarious, but you have to do it right.
Right. I don't know that I agree with that, but okay.
Hence, you have to do it right.
Ian. Wait, you just took that one.
Dang right I did.
So our encounter of the podcast comes from 100 Monster Hunts. You'll find the link in the show notes. This is an awesome DM supplement. It contains 100 Monster Hunts, and I wanted to share another one from it called Mossmen. Our recent expedition to the southern jungle uncovered a strange rust-like substance, which has since entirely covered the southern outpost. A sickness fell across the camp, and soon the dead outnumbered the living, though they haven't stayed dead. Anyone wanting more information can contact Aurelia Marlis at the Eastwatch Outpost. And then it's broken down into a segment that gives you the quest details. It says the southern outpost has been overtaken by veggie pygmies.
Veggie pygmies.
Which are creatures from Volo's Guide. Aurelia will request that the party head into the now overrun outpost and eliminate the pygmies they find, so the guards of the Eastwatch Outpost can move into re-secure the area. The southern outpost will be filled with russet mold as well, which has spread through the buildings and on any metal objects the party may come across. The pygmies will aggressively defend their new territory and attack the party en masse if they are seen. So this is really interesting because it's the real focus is the spreading of this stuff that appears to bring stuff back to life. And using creatures from the Volo's Guide is a nice little touch. The veggie pygmies.
Oh, great. I'm picturing the clickers from The Last of Us.
Tate, what's the black stuff between elephant toes? Slow pygmies.
God damn it.
They weren't fast enough.
So this is really cool because I like that it's a spreading sickness that kills them and then reanimates them, but it isn't really sound like it's anything that is caused by like a bad guy or anything like that. There's no real villain here, right? This is just a natural occurrence of nature monster things, you know what I mean? And that really kind of sets it apart. I also like the idea of the sickness spreading beyond where the players contain it and then coming back to that area later and finding out the whole area is overrun because they failed to properly contain it.
Like I said, this is totally the clickers from The Last of Us.
From what?
The clickers from The Last of Us.
I don't know what that is.
Basically they were zombies in The Last of Us game, but they spread by spores.
Oh.
And mushrooms grew out of them.
That's dope.
So I know the spore thing. I don't know what clickers are. They're like spore carriers?
Yeah.
Oh.
And the other gimmick too is right on site, they run echolocation and sound.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
That game sucks because you fuck up once, you're done.
Yeah, Dark Souls is worse. Anyways, I think this is a pretty simple compact.
Yeah.
I don't think because it doesn't have a major villain, it can be something the players you just drop in when the players are traveling or something. You know, you can change the name of the watch and everything like that, the outpost, and fit it into your adventure. But once again, I think the most out of this would be if the players fail to contain it properly, that if they leave and pass back through this and find out everything is covered and that they failed in their job and having a good opportunity for repercussions for them doing a shitty job.
So, Ariella, that big guy seemed to lose interest in what you told him what the job was. Why was that? Well, he asked if there was goblins there, but... And I said no.
That'll do it for our encounter of the podcast. Next, we have our magic item from patron Sambridge. There's a lot to this.
Yeah, learning great.
So I learned not to let you read a lot. Challenge accepted?
Yeah, fuck you. This week's magic item comes from Patron Shambridge. It's the Burning Great Axe +1, very rare and requires attunement. It is also cursed.
Wah, wah.
This rune-covered axe is black, with dull red runes adorning the head and metal shaft. Yeah, we both had that. Yeah, that's great. This is a sentient weapon, see, and communicates with ideas and emotions directly with the user. While holding this weapon unsheathed, you suffer 1d4 fire damage per minute.
Do axes have sheaths?
No,
Do axes have sheaths?
not really.
Hey, Sam, I found a flaw in your design already.
Well, they.
I mean, you can make one, I
Can?
guess.
Huh?
I mean, you can make one.
I mean, you go out.
I
and
think
you buy
maybe when it's not drawn.
I mean,
for
when you go
combat.
out and buy a hatchet
I guess it does have a sheath, doesn't it?
or an axe, it does have a
I
leather
just
cover.
never invented.
It's more of a cover.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, we hung up a little too much on that part.
Each time you attack with this weapon, you suffer 1d6 fire damage. On a hit, add 1d6 fire damage to the enemy. You may request aid from the axe to defeat your enemies. You may add additional d6s up to your counter of fire damage to both the self-inflicted damage and the enemy's damage. Keep a counter and increase it by 1 for each time you request aid.
What?
This...
It just finish reading it. It gets to it.
If the axe's damage causes the wielder to die, the wielder is raised from the dead as an agent of the axe. Your hair... What? Why was that funny?
You die from your own weapon?
Oh, yeah, that is pretty bad. Your hair turns black and your eyes turn black with red runes etched in the same pattern as the axe. Your life force is now bound to the weapon. You no longer take any damage from the weapon as stated above. At the point of death, the aid counter locked. You may call for aid in an attack, but in doing so will cause you to lose a death saving throw. On a long rest, roll a con save with a DC of 22 to recover 1 death saving throw.
Son of a!
Wow.
That is not a small number.
No, it's not. So
I realize this weapon is cursed.
I think the goal of this weapon is to kill you, and then it really just kind of changes your character a little bit. I don't know that this is an enemy weapon meant to be used by players, but maybe a weapon used by enemies. And instead of fighting the same villain over and over, you're fighting this terrible axe that's controlling people.
Or maybe you kill an enemy with this, and you think it's just a cool axe, and you pick it up.
There you go, and now you're screwed.
It's pretty much a parasite. It travels around the world as people die.
Yeah. What's really interesting though is, so the counter thing, it took me a while to kind of figure it out, but I think the counter is every time you ask it to support you, it makes it do more damage, but then it also does more damage to you. So you can increase your damage at risk to yourself. And I think that's interesting. The other thing is cool is if you're like a character that has resistance to fire, like a tiefling. Like I think a tiefling would benefit more safely from this than, say, another person or another non-fire related.
One Red
Critter.
Dragonborn also have that?
Yeah, yep, you're right. Red Dragonborn too as well. But what's interesting is the weapon is locked, so the longer you survive and the stronger this weapon becomes. So the stronger the person is that picks it up and uses it, the longer before it loses its lock. So as the players scale and level, this weapon that they're constantly fighting with a new wielder all the time gets stronger and stronger. And I think that is hilarious. And I think this would be a great weapon to base a campaign around. Right? Like, you find out the big bad isn't actually in control. You start running into these people that all have this, black hair and their eyes turning black with little red runes etched into it. And you maybe for a while might take the players a little while to figure out that they're fighting the sentient weapon is what they're fighting, not.
To keep this brief, this made me think of a post I saw. I'm on the D&D groups on Facebook, and a guy was talking about how his they probably got into a fight. His character got killed, and as far as everybody knew, he just walked around with a magic sword, and the wizard walked up and picked it up. But then the player could down like, so DM, can I do it? Well, you built this part of your background, so go ahead. And it was like, wait, what do you mean background? DM, roll a save. He failed. That character was not actually the meat suit; it was the sword.
Oh, that is dope.
So he possess the other player's body.
That's so cool. So that kind of fits the same kind of narrative, right?
I'm in charge now, sucker!
I do like this though, because the players could really get confused thinking that they're cult members.
Yeah.
Just because the black hair and the black eyes with the runes.
Right.
And not
And
assume that's the axes doing it.
Yeah, it could take a while before they figure out that the weapon is actually what they're after,
Mm-hmm.
which is very interesting. All right, I think that'll do it for our magic item, the Burning Great Axe. Thank you, Sam, for your submission.
Ooh, or it could be a really twisted version of the Dread Pirate Roberts.
I can see that. I gotta yawn. Excuse me.
I'm gonna watch that movie again.
It's good. I tried to get Alicia to watch it. She's like, "This is stupid." I was
What?
like, "You're stupid."
What?
You know, I had 2 coworkers who said they did not watch The Princess Bride. Next day, I walked in. Okay, which one of you is borrowing this first?
I don't actually own it. I probably should. It's really great. Our Dungeon Master tip of the podcast is actually that'll be you. It's stop rolling monsters initiative. That's actually from Jeremy Crawford. So you can say that instead of JC.
The DM tip comes from Jeremy Crawford, and it
Twitter.
is to stop rolling the monsters initiative. Now, this actually does make sense.
I agree.
Because inside the DMG, there is a tip where instead of just rolling all the monsters' initiative, just add a 10 to it.
Yeah.
From their stat block. Just go with that.
Yeah. Add a 10 plus their dex, right?
It speeds things up. Less bookkeeping.
Yeah, and honestly, if you have a lot of monsters, that's a good thing to do.
Yep.
Jeremy Crawford actually pointed out that Wizards of the Coast even considered adding a base initiative score into the monster manual for this very purpose. And I know it sounds... It may not seem like a big deal, but if you've got, 5-6 different monsters, the amount of time you spend rolling... There's a reason why I do it in advance. I do it before I even... Like, when I record my games and stuff, I roll all the monsters of it, and I just write it down.
And my pirate still goes first.
Fuck. This actually is a great time saver, and really it also makes sure that you got a nice even turn, and that not all the players always go first, though then some players might have a problem with that. Well, then roll better. But this is actually a really great tip. I really like this. I recommend anything that is less work for me. So I got enough shit to deal with. I don't care when they go. So I think this is a great tip. Thank you, Jeremy Crawford. That'll do it for our DM tip. Stop rolling monsters initiative. Our player tip of the podcast is
Don't be a penis.
That would be a good April Fool's one.
Ah,
If you can remember that around April Fool's time.
okay.
Our player tip.
Vagina would be better.
No.
No.
All right.
Don't be a cock.
Don't be a
Our player tip of the podcast is
Don't be a dick.
And you can avoid dickitude by making sure you pay attention to your arcane studies. Master that meta magic, the twin spell specifically. The twin spell really lets you do some stuff that no other class can do. It's powerful. It's versatile. The twin spell's biggest benefit is letting you break the concentration limit. Some players and DMs don't know this.
Right. I mean, Twin Spell basically lets you use a spell that affects one creature, but lets you do it on 2.
Yes, which also includes things that require concentration. Normally, you can only concentrate on one thing.
Right.
But Jeremy Crawford has said when you cast a spell and twin it, you're casting the same spell. You're just extending its reach, basically.
That 2 did so 1.
Yeah, so it still counts as one concentration. And so I got to use this to great benefit recently in the Patreon game that I'm a part of for Inter-Party Conflict, where I played a Divine Sorcerer. And I got access to, I had the haste spell, and I had some healing spells, and I had some buff spells. Crowd control abilities. Big one, okay, haste. I got to put haste on 2 players at once. That is powerful as hell.
Ooh, put it on the monk.
I didn't have a monk, but
Yeah, no.
I went on the 2 melee classes. But, I mean, when you can cast this on on both fighters, that's huge. Yes, they're going to get the exhaustion bullcrap at the end, but in the middle of combat, that's a huge savings. And what about healing spells?
Yep.
2 for the price of 1? Hell yes. That instantly makes any heal spell a kind of small AoE, right?
Yep.
What are some other advantages you guys can think to twinning spells?
A lot. Like, you charm 2 people.
You can charm people, hold person, yeah, those sorts of effects. That's normally limited to 1 action at a time. You can double your efficiency, significantly increasing the chance that its spell is not wasted, right? Because there's nothing worse than casting hold person or charm person and they fucking resist it, right? But you increase your chances significantly if you target 2 foes.
Can you twin fireball?
No.
No, because you can't twin anything that can target more than 1 creature.
Ah.
Ooh. Twin Tasha City of Laughter.
That's another good one. Once again,
Twin Disintegrate.
usually that's probably and that's
What
the thing
happened?
though. That's the most common use of it. People often think that the sorcerer is meant to push out more damage, when in fact they have just as much versatility as a utility support character as they do as an offensive caster. Because I would agree that Disintegrate's probably like one of the number 1 types of things that you're gonna do with it.
Well, can you blame anybody?
No, I can't. But there's so many other things you can do. You know, using double casting Stone Skin for support. You know,
Yeah.
and giving temp HPs to multiple players. I mean, it's a powerful ability. It's great for debuffing and controlling your enemies. I mean, there's so much use that can go into besides just disintegrating shit.
Twin Banish.
Oh shit!
So when you twin a spell, does that cause you to use a second spell slot?
Nope.
So it's just still that one.
Yep.
And the second twinned spell is just as strong as the first one?
Yep.
Yes.
He
But it
just,
just has to target something else.
Oh.
Yeah, sorcerers have like a certain amount of meta magic points. You just spend those instead.
Yep. And it's pretty good. I mean, it's amazing. I think it's based on the spell level though, right? Like
To a degree,
yeah, like
in some cases.
level 2 is 2 sorcery points or whatever. But in either case, this can make your sorcerer so much more versatile. And so consider that when you're picking your sorcerer and your magical abilities. It doesn't have to be about blowing shit up, though it can be.
I just briefly envisioned like you know that one SMR that can for its racial ability basically goes Super Saiyan.
Yes, which is awesome, by the way.
Basically take that race, do that, but then play him as a sorcerer, and when you cast like Thunderbolt, yell Kamehameha.
I've done that with the quicken magic,
Yeah.
where I basically call the energy building up. So normally I shoot a little, a quick blast.
Yeah.
But then if I was gonna twin it or quicken magic, I would charge up my little thing and then shoot 2, but it would just be one big beam is how I would describe it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
anyways,
that'll do it for our show today. Or that'll do it for our player tip of the podcast. Don't be a dick, and you can avoid dickitude by focusing on your arcane studies. Master that twin spell meta magic, baby. Before we close out our show, we have one more gift to give away. Compliments of Jeff Stevens.
and today our winner for our prize for Jeff Stevens is the Amorous Poet 81.
Amorous?
Amorous. It's the Amorous Poet 81.
The only watcher we have is Tate. Tate.
Show him a full moon. Tate, special show just for you. We just got X-rated. What is it?
Yeah, you know that reminds me of one time where I was like, you know what? I like the song because I like the lyrics. How it talks about how the two of you are have a deep relationship. I play it. You know, in hindsight, I didn't realize until just now how much the actual music itself was like something you would hear in a porno.
He says, "Thanks for putting your best face forward."
Congratulations!
It has a big smile on it.
Congratulations to Amorous Poet 81. We hope you enjoyed your adventure. If you did, please let Jeff Stevens know. Leave him a review. Let him know what you like, what you didn't like, and help him improve his products moving forward. That'll do it for our show today. I don't know what episode is supposed to come after this. I think it's going to be Stronghold, so I'm going to put that in here for now.
I don't know.
But I had some mix-ups and some cancellations of some people that were on the schedule.
Side note: how behind are we with our backlog?
We never caught up, so
That's what I mean.
we just recorded. We just released 102,
Are we only 2 ahead?
103, and 104, and now this one. So
We're only 2 ahead, right?
well, we've got 104, 103 hasn't released yet.
Okay.
104 hasn't released, and 106 that we're recording right now. So technically 3.
But
But this one's gonna.
Because I feel like we lost 2 back to back.
We did. We were really far behind, but
Yeah.
and we were far ahead. But actually, I'm not as concerned about that. Only because we do a pretty good job of making sure that we're caught up. So the only time I would worry is when I had to edit the night we recorded, and then I had to release on Wednesday. That's when I would start freaking out because that's too hard.
Yeah. I still wouldn't mind sitting down some weekend and catching up.
Yeah, I agree, and we might end up doing that soon with the
Christmas.
We can't do the
New
30th,
Year's.
but we could do another time during that week. So, because I got the whole week off.
We're
So
recording next weekend?
yes, but not the weekend after.
All right, so there you go, Tate.
What was it?
He was asking if we were recording next weekend.
Yeah, we're recording on the 23rd. We are not recording on the 30th. We might record something during the week of the 30th if I can get you guys together, just because
Theoretically.
I'll have it all off.
And I'll be back on my usual shift.
Okay. And I also don't know that we're going to get together soon enough to kick out that gunslinger one. So, anyway.
Okay.
So,
And I'm going to get this off my chest.
can we do it after we're got this all wrapped up so I can start exporting
Speed
it?
it up.
Oh, no, you fucking didn't.
Speed it up. Come on delay.
Shut up, fucker. That'll do it for our show today. Please join us next week as we hear Please join us on our next episode where we hear feedback from you, our heroes. We will be discussing strongholds or player-built strongholds. So I'm really excited for this one.
How about my castle on the swamp?
A swamp. If you have any feedback on our tips and tricks or topics you'd like us to discuss, actually, somebody else, why don't you do that part, Brandon?
If you have any feedback on our tips and tricks or topics you'd like us to discuss, please send them to us. You can email them to us at critacademy@gmail.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook at Crit Academy.
We hope you enjoyed your experience here at Crit Academy. If you did, you can help others find the show by leaving a, hopefully, 5-star review on iTunes or your platform of choice. Or you can just send us a message telling us how much you enjoyed the show.
Never mind. He took care of it.
Okay.
If you'd like...
give us a like and a share.
He said that already.
Oh, yeah.
No, you didn't? Oh, okay.
Also be sure to give us a like and a share.
If you'd like to support our show, we do have a Patreon page. You can head on over to critacademy.com and click on the Patreon link. Or you can pick up some of our merchandise. Or the biggest way to support the show, if you don't want to become a patron, pick up our Unearthed Tips and Tricks book. You can find it right on our. You can find it at Dmsguild, or there's a link right on our. There's a link right on our website at critacademy.com.
Got a lot of things on sale, stranger.
Brandon also does commissions, right?
Yes, I do.
You do full body and shoulder line art, right? They can
Yes, I do.
find prices and samples over at our Facebook page. While you're at our website, make sure to give our show. Make sure to subscribe to our show at critacademy.com. That way, we can help you on your future adventures, as well as you will be entered to win those cool prizes that we give away every single week. We give away 3 products. You'll be able to also find. You'll also be able to find links to our fellowship members there as well.
Lots of them.
Oh shit! I almost forgot something.
Did you?
I did. I didn't put it in, and I
think this is funny. Support the show for as low as $1 a month. You ever get those letters in the mail that have a nickel in it? Says this nickel could help save a child, and you're like, why just send it to me then?
Shit. I have to find.
Brute force.
I think
Damn,
it's
look at
this
that
one.
guy's arms.
Nope, that's not that one.
Ah.
Hang on a second. I gotta check something because it's actually really important because we got a new fellowship member, and I almost forgot to mention him. Yeah, that's not gonna. It's not gonna do us good. Not good, my friends. Not good at all. That should be there. Be messages. Where's the fucking messages?
Inbox.
Shut up. Oh, I forgot. I can't believe I almost forgot, Dan.
Julia.
I'm sorry, Dan. I almost forgot you.
Do you know the way?
Okay. So, here we go. Do you know the way?
Do you know the way?
You'll be able to find links to our fellowship members there as well. We have a new Crit Nation fellowship member. It is the Brute Force and Ignorance D&D Actual Play podcast. Our buddy Dan West and Jacob do an amazing job running this. It's really great. Jake Harmon and his 4 warriors are summoned to the city of Null Rock, a small group of islands added to the world of Faerun. and are tasked with finding a missing prince. Vampires, alternate dimensions, and brave gnome with a sad story. Epic sea battles, dirty humor, magic items, and political intrigue. I think he spelled that wrong. You can find all of this. You can find this all on Brute Force and Ignorance. We'll have a link from our website, so check them out. That's not there yet. So if you're watching this live, don't go there. As well as you can check out D&D. Blah blah. You can check out Check out Interparty Conflict. Gabe and Jeff do an amazing job with their awesome answering of your questions, bringing you the best tabletop experience possible. And you can check out D&D Character Lab. 2 real-life bards arguing the validity of their characters, again, battling their characters against each other for your enjoyment. I'm your host, Justin.
I'm your co-host, Brandon.
I'm your co-host, Dan.
Thanks for listening.
Keep
your blades sharp and spells.
Oh, we forgot to have Matt do a sign-off.
Do we not say this at the same time?
No, we've done that twice. And honestly,
I feel like we've done way more than that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Keep your blades sharp and spells prepared, heroes.
Okay, here's what's going on in my realm.
Let's hear it. What's going on in your realm?
What? Okay, first off, at work we had our company Christmas party on Friday at the Bavarian Inn.
Oh,
it was delicious. The food was great, and we were all. It was all said and done. When I finally left and went home at midnight, I was up for over 30 hours.
Jesus.
And that's because I woke up early to play in a Keyforge tournament. And then yesterday, I had lots of things go on. First off, I unfortunately had to start my day with a funeral.
Oh, that's a shitty way to start your day.
Well, a guy from my church who was 25 years old sort of died from cancer, unfortunately.
Oh, no, that sucks.
Yeah, it did.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Indeed. That goes up for you, Dan. They helped me enough like you. And then in the evening, I had a date!
With a guy?
No.
You're an asshole. You are a genuine dickhead.
With a lady.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah?
With a lady.
Wait, was this like a real person or like...
Yep.
So how'd it go?
I think it went pretty well. We met in the middle in Mount Pleasant because she's all the way from Traverse City.
Okay. Wow. How did you meet?
Match.com.
Okay. That'll do it.
And we spent about an hour at Applebee's for dinner. Then after that, we went to the Mortal Engines at the movie theater.
How was it?
It was all right.
I want to see that.
I want to see the new Spider-Man movie.
So do I.
I'll be doing it in an hour.
You've seen that.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I hate you.
Thank you.
I tried to get you guys together to go see it with me. But...
Well, I was having my company Christmas party.
Oh.
And then I had family Christmas today.
Yeah. Fine. Spend time with your real family. See if I care.
Yeah.
My dog is outside barking.
Let me think about it.
All right, we'll see you later, Nate.
See it.
Bye.
Follow us on twitch.com/Crit Academy.
Is it Blade